Hello and welcome back to the latest episode here on the C Cinema Reviews channel of The Rule of Two. And if you hadn't noticed, this is a Star Wars show, and with me, as always, is Misa Sista.
Mm-hmm.
And today we have some stuff. I finished the Dooku Jedi Lost book. Technically it's a production, because it's not actually in print. It was only in audio version. So I finished reading or listening to that. We also have Star Wars Vader Dark Visions, the fifth and final issue of this run, called, what is it called? You Can Run, ... And then we have some news about Star Wars Celebration in 2020.
2020.
It'll be in Anaheim, and we'll reveal the dates later. But anyway, yeah, let's get into...
Lucasfilm is letting us reveal the dates.
Yeah, definitely.
For Star Wars
And of
Celebration.
course, we are getting closer to us going to Star Wars Land.
Mm-hmm.
Which, we're having a tough time.
Galaxy's Edge is what it's
Galaxy's
called.
Edge. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Star Wars Land sounds just so much better and easier.
That's true. It's very true. So we're deciding to, we're trying to figure out, we have 2 days there, so we're trying to figure out what shirts we can wear and how many we can actually wear while there.
Yes, there will be outfit changes, hopefully. Because Disneyland is probably going to be sweaty. We're already sweaty nerds, so while we're there, we're going to need to change.
Yeah.
Well, I am.
This is true. Yeah, but let's get into it. We're going to start off today with Dooku Jedi Lost. Now, I am the only one who has finished it, so I will be doing the kind of review.
Dooku's not really my character. I don't think I'll listen to this.
Really?
Really.
Okay. Okay.
I like Asajj, though, so if
Asajj
she's in there
is good.
enough,
She's in there a good amount.
I may
So let me give you the
listen to
rundown.
this.
So the Dooku Jedi Lost is Dooku. He basically has gotten Asajj Ventress, and he sends her on a mission, and her mission is to find Dooku's lost sister.
Ooh.
So
Whoa, he has a sister.
he has a sister. He had a brother too.
Dooku?
Brother's dead. We'll be doing spoiler alerts here. For this, so if you haven't heard it, skip ahead to, I don't know. We'll give you just look for the next slide, okay, when you skip ahead. But anyway, so yeah, he has a sister, he had a brother. He was royalty, of course, since he's a count. But of Sereno,
Well,
he
royalty
basically
is a bit...
he sends Asajj to go get his sister, because she has been captured by some enemies of Dooku.
It's a trap.
This is during the time, I believe, of early Clone Wars? Right before Clone Wars. It is right before the Clone Wars, right before Episode 2. Because he's still on Sereno and not doing all of his separatist stuff. But anyway, yeah. So there's some enemies of his. He has, he sent Asajj to go get his sister. And during her time to go get his sister, she basically, looks in on his journals and his past. Pretty much, takes a peek at his journals. And so we get the story of...
He leaves those things hanging around?
Just leaves them hanging. It was in a locked drawer, but, it's Asajj, so locked things don't really...
Well,
Hold
any
up.
teenage girl could tell him that ain't smart.
Okay.
You bury that in a box somewhere
locked
deep in the
drawers
woods.
do not work well against lightsabers. So yeah, she pretty much reads his journal, and so we kind of get this story of how he went from being a Jedi to not falling away from the Jedi, but it's really like something. It wasn't a fall. That was the interesting thing to me. What is this facial expression for?
Well, I didn't know it wasn't a fall.
It's not a fall. No, he does leave. He doesn't go to the dark side
Oh,
and that
it's an Ahsoka.
it's
More Ahsoka.
yes, it's an Ahsoka type thing, except instead of leaving because he was, accused, he leaves because he sees that his world needs to be governed by someone that he believes is able to govern it properly.
Wow, the more you know.
Yes. So, which is pretty cool because there's like little Sheev, like I'm talking like a line in the whole book.
Good.
So it's not a Ben Solo thing where Dooku kind of gets swayed by Sheev from the Jedi.
Did we ever feel like Dooku was Sheev's apprentice?
Yes. He calls him his apprentice. In
Yeah,
episode 2, there's
so
like
he had
scenes.
2 apprentices?
No.
In Darth Maul?
Maul was not his apprentice. See, during the Clone Wars, or during that time, Sheev just thought Maul was dead. Because Maul didn't make his resurgence from cut in half until after episode 2. And in episode 2 is when we get the whole Sheev
when did Dooku become he became an apprentice right as the Clone Wars started?
No, before then. But this book is...
Wait, so when did Maul become an apprentice?
Maul became an apprentice before episode 1. And then episode 1 he got cut in half and Sheev thought he was dead.
Oh, and then
there was
10
that
years.
10-year gap.
And in that 10 years is when
this book takes place.
Oh, really?
And also when he becomes Sheev's apprentice.
Oh, okay, yes, this makes sense.
Yes.
Sorry. Timelines.
So, and also this book takes place before Qui-Gon gets killed.
Oh.
I'm not sure. There's like not many mentions. There's a lot of mentions of him in like the journals because obviously Qui-Gon was apprenticed to Count Dooku.
Well, it kind of makes sense now in, the Clone Wars as well as the movies. He's sort of kind of his own being, and he really is driving the separatist movement and all of this, and it's not completely about taking over the galaxy.
I do think it's pretty cool. In this book, we get a lot. To be honest with you, there is
diplomacy.
What? No. No, there's not really diplomacy. There's a lot of Jedi stuff. There's Qui-Gon stuff. And in all honesty, I think Asajj Ventress has some of the better things in this book because when she's doing this, she is haunted by her old master, her old Jedi master, which to me, I was like, this could be Ben Solo and Luke Skywalker situation.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
They're setting it up.
I would love for them to be setting it up. I don't know if that's going to be true. I would love for that. But it's cool because in the beginning of the book, she's talking to this guy and she's like, you're not real. You're not real. By the end of the book, or towards the end of the book, she starts actually thinking that he's actually her master.
Mark Hamill has been on a sort of horror kick lately, so...
It would be really cool to see that. But yeah, I thought that like halfway through, I was like, oh, are they doing a really good job of setting it up? But yeah, that to me was one of the most interesting things about this book, was that the Jedi Master kind of did haunt her a little bit. He would talk to her. He would make fun of her at some points. He would tell her, hey, this path you're going down, it's not good for you, Right. It was pretty cool because
and it wasn't Force Ghost.
It was not Force Ghost. It was just a voice. So, and that master probably hadn't figured out how to go Force Ghosting.
No, but he was just doing the voice.
Yes.
That's all he could reach at that
point.
Right,
just like Qui-Gon in the Clone Wars.
Exactly.
Yes. So we do get that. We're think
connecting the dots.
It could be an amazing setup for the movie. If they want to go, JJ, please go that way. I know you've already done the script and you're already probably done shooting and everything like that, but that would be amazing if this was setting up for that. So it's really cool. We get some really good young Dooku and Sifo Dyas. Sifo Dyas is in this book a bunch. He's kind of like Dooku's buddy throughout the Jedi times. If you remember in the Vader comic, when they find where Momin's mask is, the secret little room in the Jedi Temple where they have like a bunch of Sith artifacts, that pops up in here. Both of them, Dooku and Sifo Dyas, go and find that place. It's really cool to me seeing things like that. They actually, one of the Jedi Masters tests Dooku, and but in a strange way, to where it's like she pretends to be like a Dark Lord, or what she called a Dark Lord, and so and you see Vader come in and he was like, hey, think about it, like really search your feelings. Where do you feel this darkness coming from? Dooku searched himself and he found that it was coming from himself. And it was really cool to me to see that, because it was like this. There was one Jedi, I forget her name, but she was one of the masters who was actually master of Sifo Dyas. She had like a paranoia that the Sith were coming back, which is great, because I was like, yes, yes, you're right. But yeah, I do think that this book is really good. I like that there was I think 5 or 6, if not that, then more than that, different voice actors. So you definitely got a good variety.
January Jones.
Yes, there was her. There was Mark Thompson.
Yeah. He
did Qui-Gon. He does really good Qui-Gon.
Yeah. Well, he does a really good everything.
Yeah, he does a really good Qui-Gon in this. It's a really good book. I think that if you are interested in Dooku's character, if you like that character, and you would like to know a little bit more about how the Jedi work with getting their Padawans, they don't just the Master doesn't just pick them. So what they do is they kind of have these duels, right? So the Jedi, they're called younglings, and then after that they become initiates. And then after that, when they're done initiating or whatever, it's like every year or so, something like that, standard year, Coruscant year, they have duels at the Jedi Temple, and then the Force guides the masters to pick their apprentice, and sometimes you don't get picked. So Sifo Dyas and Dooku got picked their first time doing the duel, but one of their friends didn't get picked, who had been there for already a year, and so he didn't get picked 2 years in a row, and it was like, eh.
What happens to the initiates then if they don't get picked?
They just stay as initiates. They don't become Padawans. And what was cool is usually when you go on the Jedi Council, you do not get Padawans. You do not, take on your own Padawan. Right. Of course, Yoda was on the council, and he did take on Dooku. And it was really cool the way he kind of started Dooku's training, because he literally sat there and was meditating, didn't acknowledge Dooku for 2 weeks. And then Dooku finally started using his Force abilities around him, and then he was just Dooku made a fool of himself. And then Yoda was like, okay, now we can do this. It was pretty cool to me. I thought that Dooku's, or Master Yoda's way of doing things was different, of course, because it's Yoda. And that's how he works.
He's had 900 years to try all the different ways.
Yeah. And so I thought there was good parallels between this book and the Master and Apprentice book, which just came out, because there was definitely things in both books. Master and Apprentice was Qui-Gon was heavy on what am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? The prophecies. Qui-Gon was heavy on the prophecies, and Dooku got in heavy on the prophecies, and it was really cool. In the end of this book, he rides a dragon, or doesn't ride a dragon, but he connects with the Force Ezra style with the animal that's a dragon.
Bane style?
Not Bane style. Doesn't ride him, just connects with him on a mental level. And what's really cool is, back in the day, on Sereno, the Sith owned it. They were fighting it, and then the people of Sereno got they like fought back against the Sith, and the Sith actually used the dragon as like part of their army.
Wow.
And the dragon was under like the city. He was like fantasy style, like sleeping dragon under the city, was awoken by Dooku using the Force around him. It was like, I was like, man, and they set up some good Sith stuff in there with, just imagine what Benioff and Weiss could do with Sith riding dragons and stuff. I think it'd be cool.
Well, I have to say, I think after this, I'm kind of sold on this.
It's good. It's good. You get some good Asajj.
Audiobook.
Yeah. I won't spoil the ending. It's a very, if you think about the characters of Asajj and Dooku, it's a very them kind of ending. Yeah, so I won't spoil that, but yeah, Dooku, Jedi Lost. It's a good listen. I gotta be honest. I like the voice acting. I like the music. Obviously, is great, and the story, I believe, is one of the more interesting ones. It's not so much action packed as it is a great learning experience of young Jedi life, and how someone could, just like Ahsoka, see that the Jedi aren't quite doing things properly.
Right.
But yeah, let's move on to Vader.
Well,
Dark. What?
Don't you want to just throw in the little bit about not Galaxy's Edge.
Which one?
Celebration.
I thought we were gonna do it at the end.
Well, I mean, it's
We
not
can
a
do
big
it. We'll
thing.
do it live. We'll do it now. Star Wars Celebration next year will be in Anaheim, which, man, I still wish I lived there. But anyway, where are the dates? Right here. It'll be August 27th through the 30th. Tickets will be available Friday. That's this upcoming Friday.
June 1st at 9 a.m.
Man, what I
Pacific
wouldn't give. What I wouldn't give.
I mean,
That will be probably a huge one. We'll probably get like some Benioff and Weiss stuff. We'll probably get Cassian if it hasn't come out yet. Yeah, it's a big deal.
they're doing it back to back.
We might get the first Mandalorian trailer then after the show comes out, because they're saving that thing for sure. Definitely saving that thing. But yeah, that's obviously, big news for those people who live out there and those people who can go get it. And
tons of people will be flying in for that. As
yeah,
well,
yeah. Of course.
It's Star Wars Celebration.
It's Star Wars Celebration.
And who knows, we might be there. So
I think that it'll be. No, I don't think so. Maybe not. But anyways, yeah, that's nice to know. It's nice to know that they're doing it again in Anaheim.
Yeah, back-to-back years, and it's going to be great. They have a lot to talk about.
They definitely
Cassian
do.
Andor.
There will be the ending. There's going to be a whole bunch of the entire
the
saga
Luke movie.
books. I know, show.
And the
show.
Obi-Wan movie.
Show.
And I need it all. I want it all.
Just get it
Give me
shows.
Everything.
Anyway, yes, we'll probably there'll be a whole bunch of books that are like the whole saga, the incomplete saga. There were some video game stuff they announced at E3 this past weekend that they were doing a Star Wars Skywalker Saga Lego.
Oh.
A new game.
Not a big fan of Lego, but
which,
whatever.
I mean, I played the old ones. They're okay.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. But let's move on to Star Wars Vader Dark Visions number 5. You seem to have your own opinions, so you can start off.
Well, let's just shout out the people who wrote this.
Yeah, Hopeless, doing good.
Dennis Hopeless Hallam did the story, art by Geraldo Borges, not sure.
Sorry.
And then
Marcio
Menez. Sorry.
Menez.
I don't know. He did the coloring. The cover art was done by Greg Smallwood. Let's just start with the cover art right away.
It looks like a metal band.
No offense, Greg Smallwood, but I was not a fan of this.
It looks like a metal band cover.
Immediately, I was
This is
just
Vader's first hard rock album.
I saw this, and I immediately was like, I'm not going to like this.
Oh.
And then once you read the story, you understand why this looks like this.
Yes, of course.
But I still don't like it.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, Vader, I don't like the story. I thought this was...
Vader is lead singer and lead guitarist.
This story, it didn't do it for me. And also, why was it the last one? We've had so many other good ones in this, what is a...
Dark Visions run, yeah.
I don't know what a quintilogy or...
The 5-issue run.
Anyway, it was awful. I didn't like it. Oh,
my goodness. Oh, see, I thought that it wasn't
it went by
half
so
bad.
Fast, like, there wasn't even a story.
I thought it wasn't half bad. The story is that some rebels got some plans or some stuff. Some rebel spies got some plans and some
stuff. It kind of looks like the same rebel spy from the last one.
Stolen Imperial intel that they got. Vader, they're on this planet that's like mostly a jungle planet. There's pretty much another like Maz Kanata's cantina where this guy, he's like taking everybody's weapons as they come in the door. There's like nothing going on, no fighting going on there.
Boring.
The rebels give this guy, I forget his name. What's his name?
I don't think they say his name.
They might not say his name.
Anyway, it's really boring.
They give him the plans or the intel. He locks it up. Vader shows up, starts killing fools.
This is probably the goriest art I've ever seen for Star Wars.
Yeah, there's a lot of slashing and hacking.
And when they start getting to the other stuff, it's like a lot. Like, I don't need this in my Star Wars. It was a little too comic-y for me.
Yes, Vader starts killing fools to find the rebels. The guy who put the backpack in his...
Was he some sort of rebel or something? Because he went back and got the backpack. He was like, I'm leaving. He should have just been like, have it right back here, Vader.
I don't think so.
Instead, he grabs the pack with whatever rebel intel. I think
he was just scared. I mean, when someone's shooting up your place and swinging a lightsaber...
No, you be smart. You grab what they want and say, here.
But he's a bartender. He's not exactly a genius here. Anyway, he tries to run away from Vader into the jungle, and this jungle apparently is nuts with a whole bunch of, like, man-eating plants and, like, crazy bushes with thorns on them that, like, poison your brain. Not so much, like, poison to kill you, but just, like, make you hallucinate. Vader's running after this guy to get these plans. I think that it looks there's some of these things that look really cool. And it just
turns into this guy's worst nightmare.
It turns into like basically a little horror thing with Vader, and they're like Vader's.
And you can't trust what he's seeing, and this whole thing.
His vision makes Vader's lightsaber like a snake trying to bite him and stuff. This guy survives surprisingly long for shooting at Vader. Gotta be honest.
Right.
Vader gets like almost taken out by some crazy vines and a man-eating plant. This guy goes to his uncle's cabin, which in his hallucination...
I think he stumbles upon it. He doesn't go there purposefully.
He stumbles upon it. In his hallucination, it looks like Vader with the red eyes and all that good stuff. The mounted heads on the wall from like past, huntings, like in his vision come after him and stuff. He starts shooting up the place. He basically like shoots up the entire cabin.
If you know that your brain is poisoned and this is some empty cabin, would you not just like stop, drop, and roll? Just like stop and like close your eyes and sit down. Like, none of this is real. Just calm down. But he starts, all of these dead rebels and people from his bar start, like, grabbing at his ankles and arms and stuff. And it's, like, this, I don't know, creepy zombie thing. And it just wasn't for me. He ends up living because literally he drops his gun and then...
He basically Vader just gives Vader the intel.
Which he could have done, like...
And Vader, being the chill dude that he is, just lets him live.
Exactly. He could have done that. He didn't even have to run.
He didn't know,
in the
though.
Forest.
Vader literally came into his bar and started swinging around his lightsaber and hacking people.
Obviously, he knew exactly what they wanted because he grabbed the pack, ran with it, and then when Vader came, he threw exactly the data chip that Vader wanted. At Vader.
I didn't say that he was a smart bartender.
Smart enough to know what Vader wanted.
We'll put it this way. This is definitely the dark stepchild of this series.
I was very upset that they ended like this. They had better ones to end with.
I don't know. I think after that first one, for me, it kind of was all downhill. I think that first one is still the best one.
Even last week's with the pilot who was,
who's got, cold feet shooting
exactly,
Vader.
that was better.
That was
than
good.
this.
I thought the second one
The first one, that's how it should have ended. Even though you're kind of glorifying Vader, making him into some Dark Knight.
Which is great.
It was great.
Yes, that one definitely.
This one, I don't ever want to see
solid.
Vader as some sort of heavy metal
band.
Yeah,
he's a band member. But anyway, yeah, it's good. I don't think it's great. I think it's not the one that I would have ended on. Because there's not like there's not like a progression. There's not a through line storyline. I would have ended with one of the other ones.
As far as art goes, I guess it was good. It's not my kind of art, but
yeah,
I couldn't do it, so I guess...
I understand what they were trying to do with this story, with, the crazy stylization of this story and of Vader, but, it works for some, it doesn't work for others. I get it.
It didn't really build on the legend of Vader, which is what I thought this was going to do. It built on the legend of whatever this crazy forest he ran through was.
But I mean, think about it. It's like that bartender's now going to tell this crazy story about Vader.
Sure. But I don't want to hear
it. Anyway, yeah. I would still...
Don't get it.
If you're like a completionist and you want all 5 issues, sure, why not?
If you're a Vader fan, I guess you could watch this. But he doesn't really say or read this. He doesn't say much
there's
in
not
this.
Much of...
It's not really about him.
Yeah.
It's about this other dude.
But anyway,
I would not recommend it.
It's alright. It's alright. We'll put it like in the 50-50.
I do not recommend this.
It's in like the 50-50.
You will put it in. I'm saying don't ever buy this. This
is kind of that head nod, the Bobby D, like the Robert De Niro head nod, and just like, yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it's all right. I'm not gonna tell. It's not a must read. It's not Rebel Age of Rebellion.
You don't need to read it at all.
It's not an Age of Rebellion Luke Skywalker. We'll put it that way. But anyway, thank you very much for watching and listening to this episode of the Rule of Two here on C Cinema Reviews channel. JJ, thank you. That would be amazing if Luke Skywalker haunts Ben. Thank you. Benioff and Weiss. I'm so happy.
Can't wait to hear
I cannot wait to hear what you guys are going to do, Old Republic.
Maybe.
100%.
We don't know yet.
Maybe. Who else?
George
and Shmi.
Of course, the creator.
George, thank you very much for all that you do.
Shmi.
We know that
awesome.
you're still the godfather of everything here, and we must all get your blessing for everything. But anyway, yeah, we thank you very much for watching and listening to this episode. Tell us your thoughts in the comment section down below. We do have a Facebook page and a Twitter account for this channel, so tell us your thoughts whenever and wherever you want, and may the Force be with you.
Always.